government is big enough to give you everything you want. It is big enough to take away everything you want.
Welcome to the Spearhead Transmission.
With your hosts, m4a and Michael Bay.
This is the Spearhead Transmission.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Spearhead Transmission. It's September 5th, 2018. It's time to break those chains and water that tree. So when's the last one? In July?
No. Really? Welcome
Yeah,
back.
'cause-
Oh, yeah, July. Right. I was thinking it was already like
So-
October.
No, everyone's, I'm sure everyone's wondering where we've been because we keep getting a lot of messages on our Facebook and stuff and saying, hey, when's the new show coming out? And it's just it was the perfect set of events to where it got delayed because I went on vacation, then I came back, and then you went on vacation for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then you came back, and then you were sick
Last
and
week,
then,
right.
Yeah, and then here we are. So
we're here.
just like that.
So now you're sick.
Yeah, I got some shit I got the preschool nonsense from someone.
But the deal is that I was sick already, so it doesn't matter. You can't get me sick.
Yeah. Dude, do you feel the same way? Anytime I'm sick, I'm like, oh, good, and I got that over with now, so I won't get sick now because it's done. I'm trying to put the cell phone in my number in my phone while I'm talking, which I did. I can't believe it. So we have a guest tonight on the show. He's hosting a run and gun in Kentucky at the Rock Castle.
Per usual.
Yeah,
We don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Let me make sure. A run and gun coming up in Rock Castle in November, so he wanted to come on the show and talk about it. And since we like running guns, we're going to have him on here in about 15 minutes. But
So that's what this is about.
yeah, so you how was? I guess since we haven't talked, we got like a lot of shit has happened.
What did we do?
And well, I went to California
California.
and enjoyed
Going to California?
Week out there is fun. It was a little bit more work this time because my wife's aunt was sick, and she ended up passing away here last week.
I'm sorry.
So, but we watched my cousin's kids a lot, or my wife's cousin's kids. But it was good because my kids like playing with their kids, and it was a good time, and it helped them out, because they needed to be with their mom. But California is cool. I every time people are like, oh, I love California because you love San Diego.
Well, I love San Diego.
I could not live there though, man. I could
Really?
not do it.
I don't think it's packed though. It's
Everywhere I went, we went to a park, a creek like Turkey Mountain here, which Turkey Mountain's pretty packed too. But I believe the amount of people on this planet's unreal anymore. But like yeah, like I got Freemasonry in my head now. Like we gotta quell the herd or whatever it's called, cull the herd, quell. But
quell the rebellion and cull the herd.
no, like we went to a park, just like a standard park, because I said you can catch.
Standard.
Yeah, it wasn't like fancy, you know.
Not like this
Had a little-
monstrosity that we have here in Tulsa now.
$459 million park that we just built. Did you see the property prices went over there 300%?
Oh,
Those
I would
houses
imagine.
around there.
Everybody from never mind.
I just want
we just
Riverside.
changed the
I
subject.
just want Riverside
like that.
opened up. Just open Riverside.
Yeah.
So they can drive through there.
That ain't happening.
That place is going to be packed full of homeless people at no time. It's going to be like that scene on Revenge of the Ninja where he's got that guy with the cowboy hat and they're fighting on all the playground equipment and everything. There'll be ninjas at that park.
Everything. All right, so
straight
back,
down. Anyway.
you went to a standard park in San Diego.
Standard Park. And I hate to fucking admit it, but I was driving a minivan because I was driving my
funny.
wife's cousin's minivan.
Uh-huh.
Nothing makes you feel more nerdy than a minivan as a man.
Well, I drove a minivan from here to Dallas and then from Dallas to back.
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously,
I
it
was
should
comfortable
have
though.
Sunglass. Yeah, it's real convenient.
Yeah, doors both open up without me having to touch them.
Kids climbing in, no lifting up, no hurting your back. Like nope, it was amazing. But I mean, I feel like a little button for your sunglasses and then another one for your nuts right up there on the dash.
Right next to the shifter that's on the dash.
Yeah. And the backup beeping and the doors beeping, closing. Like, dude, safety patrol is in effect. So I'm driving this minivan, pulling into this park. Like I said, it's a creek. It's got, sand things, trails. There's a sign that says no photography without a permit. I'm like, God, man,
Really?
California, yeah. Land of the free, home of the brave. And then there's absolutely zero parking. And she has a handicap sticker because her sister's handicapped. Mm-hmm. And my wife's like, we can use that at the beach. I'm like, I refuse to use that.
Yeah, because you're not handicapped. You're going to roll out of that thing and then people will be like...
Not even that. And I've said this before, is there's so many people in this country now that take pride in the fact that they're unable to do something anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I can't walk 50 yards. I need to sit in a fucking handicap spot. Well,
get out and get in my roll around.
Yeah, I drove around the parking lot and I finally found one where some people were like showering their dog off. Like, dude, get out of the spot. I need to park here. Uh-huh. No, seriously, like, I mean, everywhere you went, there is like, where are we going to park?
Was that packed, huh?
Yeah, when we went to the beach, had to walk, which is fine. Uh-huh. But I had so much crap.
Yeah.
I mean, I look like...
You needed the roll around.
Yeah. I seriously looked ridiculous. Beach umbrella, chairs, bags of water, floaties, all kinds of crap. Uh-huh. My arms were complete. I look like, what's his name? Not Hulk Hogan. Road Warrior. I tied those bands around his muscles. Ultimate Warrior. His veins are all popping out. Like, I had an umbrella doing that to my arms. Anyway, just too many people out there jammed in this small space. And all I'm thinking is like, man, there's all these wildfires or whatever. All these people, where are you going to go? They're all going to do the same thing. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. Uh-huh. And it's I-5's crammed going to work. Like, if the shit went down, you're going to be walking next to that road.
Yeah, I mean, it's packed, I guess, but it's not. I want you to envision this real quick. All right. So Oklahoma is what, 16? How many square miles is Oklahoma? Like
83,000.
83,000?
I have no idea.
No, you're probably close, right? Well,
I just completely made that up.
All right. Well, all right. I don't know if that's yeah. Okay. So 83,000 or 83 million?
Million.
I don't know. Well, I have a good understanding of size comparison. Mm-hmm. But so the UK, right?
Yeah.
The UK is probably about the size, maybe a little bit smaller than Colorado. Okay. And you've been to Colorado.
Yeah.
Colorado has what, maybe 5 million people in it, right? Maybe a little more.
Yeah.
The UK has 65 million people in it. London alone, so where I was at, 8 million people. Right? That's packed.
Yeah.
That's packed. That's why I'm sick. But while I was there, so I have something that I wanted to talk about. I don't know how much time we have. What do we got?
We got a little bit.
All right. All right. Here's my question to you. Do you believe that
in London?
Do you believe that there's pre-programming, meaning people or nations become pre-programmed or predispositioned to thought processes, meaning, here's a perfect example. So my wife's family, they always made fun of me while I was there because I carried an umbrella, a big umbrella, everywhere I went.
Was it full of wrenches?
It was set up, all right? But everywhere I went, right?
FYI, if traveling to a place that doesn't allow knives or guns, an umbrella with wrenches zip tied to the shaft is an unassuming self-defense weapon.
Especially in London, because it's always rainy, right? The problem is
proper,
that...
like, hey, open that up. Fuck off, mate. I can't. It's full of wrenches.
But so everybody, they were like, why do you feel like you got to do that? Well, all right, number one, let's think about this. Everywhere I go here...
People want to know.
Yeah, no. Be honest, I have a gun, right, that I carry everywhere I go, right? Now, I carry it everywhere. I've got a gun and 2 knives on me as we speak. That's right. Well, I don't have any, but I'm in my podcast room. Okay, but anyways, so they made fun of me. They were like, why do you feel like you got to have that? Well, number one, first things first. I'm in a place that I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah.
Number two, the place that I'm in, the part of the city that I'm in, would be considered a poorer area, right? Number two, there's violence, or three, there's violence, or C, there's violence here, right? In this, there's people getting knifed,
Yeah.
right? 4, or X, I don't fit in.
Yeah.
Right, I stand out. No matter what I do, I stand out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I'm wearing sunglasses,
The
hood,
Unabomber outfit.
the Unabomber outfit, or if I take the hood off, then it's like I'm like a dick on a baby, right? I don't. Is that a saying?
Probably.
All right. Stick out like a dick on a baby. All right. So there's nothing I can do, right? So I feel like, look, okay, I got to carry something around to protect my wife and me and my daughter, right? All right. They're like, you're not gonna get knifed here. It's all this, it's all that, but so they tell me that. But then we have conversations about guns, right? And they're always like, why do you Americans always feel like you need to have guns? There's so many guns there. Everybody's getting shot. And I said, I carry a gun, right? Yeah. But I says, just like here, is that where's the violence happen?
Yeah.
Right? Do I go to that area in the United States? I don't, right? Like, I don't go to North Tulsa where all the shootings happen.
Yeah.
But I still carry a gun, right? Now, they have this pre-programming. They think that everybody is carrying guns all the time and that everybody's just blasting each other left and right here, like the Wild West. Much like what I tried to make the point is that much like for a long period of time, a vast majority of Americans felt like Muslims were going to cut their heads off if they saw one, right? It was kind of like this whole, and even then I still feel uneasy. And I'm in an area in London that's predominantly Muslim and Hindu, right?
Where those soldiers got their heads sawn off by Muslims?
Right.
Okay.
But it's not. It doesn't happen everywhere.
Rampant,
right. Yeah. It's not like wild. Just like it's not like
but I don't get a flat every day, and I don't drive. I'm not like, well, I don't need the spare. I haven't had a flat
exactly
in 6 years.
This is exactly my point. And I'm saying, okay, even though there's these pre-programmed biases that happen, right? Because they feel like every American it's what their media shows, right?
Yeah.
Just like what our media used to show, right? Like all the time. So it's this whole thing.
Ours like tosses it up.
Yeah,
changes from.
It's like shark attacks.
Yeah.
But it's funny how you can see how much, like how dead set that they terrified of the United States. No joke.
We have a couple listeners that I've told them that they can stay at our house because they're from Australia, and he's like, dude, I don't want to get shot. Like, I'm not going to get shot. You know what I mean?
Terrified.
Yeah, like, seriously, you're not going to get shot.
Mm-hmm.
But my whole thing with that is I think of it as like backpacking. When I go backpacking,
you want to make sure you got everything in there.
I'm putting my stuff there. I'm putting food. Like, man, do I really want to carry?
It's like when you do a running gun.
Pop-Tarts. Like, well, when I'm out there and I want it, I'd rather have it
than not,
and have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I
mean, it's the same thing that you do whenever you pack for a running gun, right?
Yeah, and I mean, when I carry a pistol, like, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable or whatever, but you remember that story, that lady in Texas that was in a restaurant with her parents, and some guy came in shooting.
Oh, yeah.
One time she left her pistol at home or in her car, and all she saw, I think her dad got killed. Yeah, and like the last thing, all she could think about was like, if I just had my gun like this one. I mean, how could you
imagine that shit?
No.
Imagine
and if that was
shit.
Your fucking kids?
Woo!
No. And that's the other thing. You know, a lot of the heroic nonsense that people think they're going to do in that situation.
That's the thing.
If I'm in church and there's a guy come in shooting it up, I'm getting my wife and my kids the hell out of there. If in the process of making that happen, I can smoke the guy or whatever without fucking blasting granny, I'll do it. But that is for them and me.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. That's exactly how it's supposed to be.
I'm not going to say like, I'm going to push over a lady in a wheelchair to get out. You know, like I'll do my part, but like they are my priority, right? Like that's what I'm here for now. And Like, to go out, like I read an article the other day that said, you know, when you're out with your family, you should treat them like a VIP, like if you're personal protection.
I read it.
Yeah, and because I've always thought the same thing. Like when we're out, I'll walk. I almost feel like I should walk behind them, you know, so I can see everything. Make sure no one walks up behind them and grabs something or puts something on them. But one of the things I've always been nervous of, and that thing, that story says the same thing, and I think I've told the story on here. Was I was at a stoplight in Midtown Tulsa. And I could see the car next to me had a lot of movement going on in it, you know, like frantic movement. And my wife drives a black Tahoe with black fancy ass wheels for some reason.
I saw her yesterday.
Because she's, you know, 30, a middle-aged woman, needs fancy wheels and tires and all that.
This looks nice though.
Yeah, she looks like the government driving her.
Yeah, she does look like.
But I can see that car, and then I can see the door open, and I immediately put my hand on my gun and I halfway draw my pistol out, and I was looking over, and my wife's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Something's happening over here." And I'm not, you know, and every time I'm at a stoplight, I'm watching my rear view mirrors, I'm watching my front, but I always make the mistake of being too close to the car in front of me. Yeah, and that article
then what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that article said make sure you can see the tires
so you can
of the vehicle in front of you. But like, I don't get, like, I understand people that say like, "Oh, why do you do that? Why do you know, it's not crazy here," and it may not be. But the dude that won the lottery never thought he was going to win the lottery. The dude that got, you know, fucking shot at an Ariana Grande concert with the AK-47 by some crazy dude with a, you know, with a fucking vendetta or whatever. He never thought, I'm going to go to that concert tonight and get fucking smoked. You know, same with the people that went to work on 9/11. Same with the people that went to, you know, Oklahoma City in April. Like you don't think it's going to happen. You don't know. I mean, same goes for anything. Like even if you're like first aid stuff, like
I think
anything like that saying like each moment's a gift. Like, I mean it.
You got to treat it like that.
Yeah.
I think the problem that people have, like one of the things that they have, like they think that seriously, like I think that a lot of people think that you're just walking around like, you know, everybody's mean mugging each other, and they're all like, that's not the case at all. Like, to be honest with you, I'm less aggressive in every sense of the imagination than I am.
Anytime I've gotten to any kind of confrontation and I've had a pistol on me, I immediately got you've got a gun on you. Like, you need to get out of this without.
Perfect, you know example today was I was at a stoplight. I was in the left-hand lane, right? There was traffic in the right hand that was moving, right? But it was started to space out. And I was like, well, there's my opportunity. Put my blinker on, pulled out. There was some asshole behind me, flies up behind me and honks. And all I do is I waved, right? Like, that's it.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Hey, sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
And he honked again and then flipped me off.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I can see the veins in my arms now.
But I'm being cool, right? I was being cool. And he pulled up next to me. So as he's pulling up next to me, what am I doing?
Yeah, thinking.
I've already had my pistol ready. I was just like, but I just waved, and him and his fucking fat friend flipped me off. You know, like, and I was like, and they cut in front of me. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, what purpose would it have served to be like, pull over now, motherfucker?
Well, see, I followed two kids to the parking lot when I was in college. I didn't have a gun on me. I was ready to whip their ass, follow them all the way to where they were going. Told me, and they wouldn't. I don't know if they're school kids or what, but they did the same thing. Flipped me off, and I rolled my window down because I had that Dodge with those black. You couldn't see in it. And when I don't know if they thought it was a lady driving it or what, but I could see the expression change in their face. And then I told them to pull over, like, real calmly, and they're talking to me like in a normal voice on Riverside, doing like 60 miles an hour. Like, I can't hear what you're saying. And I just kept saying, like, pull over, which is dumb, right? Yeah. Because they could have had a gun and a knife. But I didn't care. I was 24 or something.
Well, you still had that immortality.
Yeah. So I followed them where they're going and pulled in front of them with my truck and asked them what their fucking problem was. And then they walked around my truck. So I pulled in front of them again. And my boss somehow saw me drive by yelling at him. And he came over there and was telling me to not, stop. But like, I mean, I didn't have a concealed carry permit then, but I mean, I seriously think if I did, I wouldn't have proceeded to do that, because you bring a gun into the situation, you're causing a problem, then you're going to
you're in big trouble.
Yeah, you're going to, but
yeah. That's just.
I had the same thing just a couple days ago. A guy, I can't remember if I cut him off or if I just got over in front of him and he saw him fly behind me. And anyway, it was in the neighborhood. And then he turned where I was turning, so then I made a fake turn and he turned again. I was like, oh shit. And I was talking to my wife on the phone. I had this bag. I just got done working out. I'm pulling the gun out and setting it next to my leg.
Dude, this is fucking how I did everything.
And then he pulls up behind me, and I was like, well, is this shit going to happen? And I turn, and he's right behind me. We come up to a stoplight, and he doesn't even acknowledge anything. He's just
driving.
Yeah, he's just driving. And someone might say, well, you almost shot someone. Like, I had no intention. I didn't do anything. But so if the motherfucker would have pulled up next to me and pointed a gun out the window, I wouldn't have been digging around trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. This is how I mean, I always work like that, where I always have like scenario after scenario in my head. Like, okay, this might happen. Right. This might happen. This might happen. The best thing to do, I mean, I have a question about
hurting, though. I mean,
there's nothing that it's not hurting anything as long as you're safe, right?
I mean, as long as it's not compulsive behavior, like, or you're obsessing about it to where you can't sleep. Like,
no. But like, it's a scenario. Like, okay, I'm here in this McDonald's and there's a guy over there that's being out of control. What am I doing? Like, he's obviously raised his voice. He's getting pissed off about something. He looks like he's drunk. What do I do? Right? Like,
don't look at him.
Don't look at him.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge that he's there, know that he's there, and try to avoid it as much as possible. But what happens?
If it's me, they fucking seek me out. Like, hey man, can't you hear me? Like, just let me just quarter pounder.
But it's usually that they seek you out that want to hang out.
Right. What you got hair wax in your hair? No, I don't. I've had people say the same shit to me, and it's just like I don't know. I mean,
well, I understand where they're coming from. You got to think they don't have any guns, right? None. And so now think about that. What if they were like, what if the media was like, you know what? We all need to be able to carry weapons. Well, then it defeats the whole purpose of why the government took them away in the first place there, right? Like, now, or we all need to have the right to protect ourselves.
Are people getting stabbed as much as they're saying on the news, or is it just
they get stabbed a shit ton there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots, like,
knives are illegal, right?
There was two. How do
you put butter on your bread over there?
I just carry around a butter knife in my pocket and a fork.
Sharpen the shit out of it.
Carry a fork.
Get ready to eat, sir, Governor.
And they were like, he probably won't get away with that. And they were like, well, if you hit somebody with that umbrella and it's got wrenches in it, you're going to get in trouble. I was like, if I'm hitting somebody with an umbrella, I'm willing to take the punishment of whatever happens to it, right?
It'd be funny as shit to drop that and all those wrenches fly out on the ground. Like, oh, whoops.
There's my toolbox.
All those like nice English people helping you pick them up. Like, hey mate, let me help you here. Like, zip tie that to them.
They're only nice when you get out of the city. People are nice when you're in the city, but they don't ever say anything. So it's like this. It's very strange, man. Like, you don't make eye contact with people, right?
Yeah.
Which I have a problem. I always like to look at people.
Everyone.
I like to look at everybody. But I also polite, and I say, "Hey, thank you," and then they'll be like,
to establish dominance.
No, I'll say thank you, whatever, like that, and then people are like, "Oh," and they'll start talking to you whenever if you're.
Where are you from?
Well, it maybe not that. Or they'll just be like, because it's
Glockstja
oh yeah,
I guess it's in America, but
it's that city's probably the most. I mean, on a train, you'll hear Russian, Spanish, Swahili, an Australian accent, Germans, all within a few feet of you. They're all. That's how. I guess.
Everyone proud of their own culture.
I think they're just there.
Yeah.
Just to be there, to work, mostly, I think. All right.
All right, well, let's get our guest on before it's been keep him waiting too long.
Okay.
So stand by. All right, tonight's guest, we've got Tiger from the Run from Your Life.
Run for your life.
Zombie
10K.
Run for your life. Zombie 10K.
Fuck it up.
Oh man, that's a good start.
Yeah. Run from your life. So,
well, I mean, you can do that at this match if you really want to.
Run from your wife.
Yeah. So it's in Rock Castle, Kentucky.
Yeah, Rock Castle Shooting Center in Park City, Kentucky.
Okay.
Park City.
So it's a 10K. How'd you start it, and tell us about it?
Well,
wait, are you your first time caller, long time listener?
That's correct.
Okay.
First time on the show.
Okay.
Been listening for a while. Matt Sipe turned me on to you guys about a year ago. Actually,
he's a good guy.
Yeah. He's planning on coming to my match, I think.
We actually talk to him daily.
So if you guys want to chase him down, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
I won't be. I'm not that fast. But to get back to the question there, I actually ran one last year, which was a 6K that turned into about an 8K because I'm about as good at math as the guys at Pawnee. And it was the run through history. And then this year we have the Legion match actually coming up this weekend, and they're kind of covering some military history. So I decided to do a little bit more fun, lighthearted run and gun and do the zombie themed thing.
You said match.
Yeah, that makes me think it's 3-gun.
Is it an event or is it a match?
Well, it's last year was more of a match because it was just the one day and that was it. Like that, there was nothing else. This year, it's more of an event. I've got live music Friday night. I've got a gear swap going Friday night.
Whoa! Gear swap. That sounds.
Yeah.
Is that slang for something?
I'm going to while the live music's going on, which is actually going to be Lacey Caroline. Fellow running gunner. She's doing a live show Friday, November 2nd at Rock Castle. While she's doing that, I have invited everybody to bring gear that they thought they'd like, didn't like, have picked up off prize tables, different stuff like that. And because, we're all gearheads anyways, so if you got something you want to get rid of, bring it along and see if maybe you can't swap it out and get something you want to try next.
That's pretty cool. That chest rig I always use, I think I really like my $15 Israeli surplus better, even though I got London Tower.
Yeah,
whatever it is. It was like some special forces nonsense, but
right.
I got a whole bunch of that stuff to get rid of.
But
yeah,
that's cool, man.
And that's the thing. You bring that shit, and somebody who says, "Hey, maybe that'll work for me," and maybe you make a little money at the match or something,
Yeah, that's really cool. That's cool that you're changing it up too. When we originally were talking about doing our run and gun, we were talking about having like almost like an event where we had tents and shit and
swingers,
entertainment. Yeah. Wife swapping,
right?
Swapping though.
No, but like stuff you could, people could do.
Yeah.
While so because there is that waiting around while everybody's running or whatever. Like the ROs, like I'm going to Pecos next week, and like we get there Thursday and we just hang out Thursday night, and then run Friday, and then you hang out Friday night, and then Saturday is the race. So it's like a bunch of free time, and I mean, I like that, but the fact that you're putting on like a show and all that other stuff, that'll be pretty cool.
Smart. Make it an event.
Right, and Rock Castle is kind of a unique situation because the lodge is right there on site. Like everybody stays at the lodge, which has a bar in it, full service restaurant and bar. So it's a little bit easier atmosphere to just hang out in and do shows and do stuff like that. And it's also nice too because on Saturday morning the start finish line is right out the lobby door. Like it's right in front of the door. So if your start time isn't until 1:30 in the afternoon or whatever, you can just chill in your room or hang out at the bar or whatever until
Get blasted
1:30, and then you
till
just walk out the door and take off.
Get ripped until it's your time to go. All right, fellas, let's get this shit started.
You laugh, but I know people who have walked off the course, not onto the course, but off the course and straight into the bar, like not even taking gear off, because that's the thing to do.
That seems like a real good idea to me. Like, how do they keep people from not like drinking and not shooting? Or do they?
Well, that is up to us as ROs and match directors. Like I tell my start finish people that if somebody is obviously hammered, they're not allowed to shoot.
Yeah.
And as far as Rock Castle goes, if you're caught drinking and shooting on site, they won't let you back for a while. Like it's a major no-no.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're looking at it online. That's a nice place. That'd be cool to be able to.
It's a really nice place.
Have your family come out and eat at the restaurant and see you, start. It'd be cool if they had some way to televise each stage. You're like, hey, there's Dad fucking failing the first stage.
There you go.
Well, actually, it's kind of neat because most of the stages are accessible by car. Like they're right off of roads or whatever that lace the property. So families do come out. We have people. Last year, I had 70 shooters, and I had like 200 people show up on race day.
Wow.
Between families and other people that just wanted to come and watch and take pictures and shoot the shit with the people who were running the match.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of people email me or whatever about the Pawnee one, and they'll say like, hey, I don't want to do it, but do you think those guys would care if I came out and watched? I'm like, well, there's not really a good place to watch unless you got like permission to follow someone on a mountain bike or just run with them, like you see people doing, but it's not like a real easy way to just hang out. But that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm hoping this year to get I talked to a guy that ran some drones for the guys at Heartbreak in February, and I'm hoping to get some drone footage and stuff this year too, because it's just really neat seeing people from a bird's eye view shoot stages instead of a GoPro or anything like that.
I saw a couple of those videos on that run and gun page on Facebook, which I think it was that. Was it the drone ones? That was from those were
the
cool.
Heartbreak 5 and 10K, they had drones running it, and it was pretty wild.
The amateur
that match was pretty wild, anyways.
Like the amateur video capabilities these days to make like anything with drones and stuff is like, you're above and beyond like what people had in the 90s making movies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the video I saw, like the clarity and the the quality, like, dude, this is like really good footage. And it's like guys running off and the thing's just lifting up, and it's like those boom towers or whatever they had back in the day. They're doing it with a $700 drone now or whatever. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is good, dude.
So your course of fire for the zombie, is it did you ever do that zombie run and gun down in Texas?
No, that was actually before I started doing running guns.
Oh, really?
I didn't know anything about it until I named this one a Zombie 10K, and they're like, "Oh, is this like going to be like the one in Texas?" And I go, "What are you talking about?"
I never went to that one either. Alan, would always talk to me about going to that one down in wherever it was, by Waco, I think, or
I think so.
But he, the guy that put that on was killed.
Hey, you're good.
Yes. Yeah, I'd heard something about that, but I don't know the full story or anything.
Yeah. So, and it looked really cool. It was heavy pistol, but it had a lot. It was the same thing. It was like rifle and pistol running. And they had a bunch of obstacles, but that was like in the early days when Pecos and that zombie biathlon were the only things around. And then like Pawnee started, Thunderbird, and then Pawnee. But that's cool. I like the way everything's growing and starting to do stuff.
Absolutely.
All these running guns are popping up, but
it's taking off, really.
So your course of fire, like, are you going to let it out, or is it secret?
Oh yeah. I've released 8 of my 9 stages so far. I've also released my round counts. I have, if you run everything clean, which some of my stages are a little bit weird. But if you run everything clean, it's 82 rifle and 60 pistol.
Damn.
But like my stage 1, the title of
sounds
the
like a
stage
match to me.
is "Oh shit, these guys heal," and it's a standard plate rack at 15 yards, and you're going to engage it with your pistol. If you miss a target, you have to engage a target at 20 yards and like an 8-inch plate at 20 yards. And while you're engaging that 8-inch plate, the RO is going to reset the plate rack.
Oh.
So if you knock down 5 targets and then miss the 6th, you have to hit all 6 again. You have to make 6 consecutive hits at 15 yards.
On a plate rack?
On a plate rack.
As long as it isn't a dueling tree.
They say with a pistol?
Yeah, with a pistol.
Yeah, man.
Which, it's not hard, but if you get a speed demon out there who, counts on just missing a couple of times and making it up with speed, they're going to struggle.
Yeah.
What's the size of the target?
8-inch plate.
I'm hoping for 8-inch plates. I don't actually know what Rock Castle has on hand, but I think they've got an 8-inch plate rack at 15 yards.
That'll be all right. 8-inch at 15. But that when you get to that 6-inch at 15 or 17 or whatever the fuck it is,
that dueling tree,
that shit's bullshit. There's no way I would shoot that shit like that.
So I've got to
shoot the shit out of that with a rifle.
I've got a dueling tree, brand new dueling tree sitting in my garage because of Pawnee. So like I've said in the past, everyone can rest assured that will never be used again in Pawnee since I bought it.
That's right. That's right.
I don't even know if there's one I just thought of that. I don't know if there's one in Pecos next week or not, because there's usually a dueling tree there.
Really?
I hate those things.
Yeah.
But it's closer. They have it at like 10 yards or some shit.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But
right, yeah. Because, that's a much more doable shot.
yeah, I just like it because it's easier for me.
Yeah, that's right. You can move it even closer, really.
I could practice more with pistol, but I'd rather just complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, and shoot my rifle better.
Yeah.
So what's the weather looking like when you guys are going to be out there? Oh, it's in November. Never mind. It's
in November, so it might be 60 or 70 degrees and sunny, and it might be 25 degrees and snowing, or anywhere in between.
Dude, I've always wanted to do one in like heavy, like blowing snow, like that fucking that level in James Bond GoldenEye, or the snow level.
Well, let me tell you something about that. Heartbreak. We did Heartbreak in February in Lexington, or Wilmore. It was 17 degrees when I did my run.
Ooh.
And there was about an inch of snow on the ground. But as the sun came up, it melted just the snow. It wasn't hot enough to melt it, but just the sun was doing it. So there was about a half inch of mud under the snow, and it sucked. It sucked bad. Like your hands were numb because you couldn't feel your rifle. You couldn't feel your trigger on your pistol. It sucked.
Yeah.
Real bad. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was, of course, it didn't help that I was doing it with 130 pounds on my back. So that made it even harder.
You carrying
another person?
Well, I carried, whenever I signed up for it, they were going to have a 50% body weight division, and I signed up for it because that's what I do. I generally carry a lot of weight.
Damn, Tiger, how big are you? Big old boy. Like
well, I
6'9",
was weighing in at like
300.
I was weighing in at like 210, and I wanted to be sure I had it after ammo expenditure and all that. And then they canceled the division on me. Like they dropped it to 25%, and I was like, well, that's great. But I was the only one who signed up for it, so it kind of made sense to not have the division.
But you finished it, right?
I did finish it.
Well done.
It took me 6 hours, and I broke my toe, but I finished it.
Nice. Like, it's good that you continued through, even though they decided to end it.
I ended up dropping because I was carrying a bolt gun, my RPR, which with all of its customizations and optics and everything is really expensive now. And they had a 14-foot wall you had to go over twice. And I couldn't make a transfer with it, like safely at the top. So I ended up having to drop my pack off of it and then climb over myself.
Oh, yeah.
And it hurt to drop that rifle. the second time. Like I was pretty not okay with that.
It's funny, man.
I don't think I could pull myself up 100 with 130 pounds on my back over a 14-foot wall.
I don't know.
It took some finagling for sure.
I'll like candy ass around with my rifle if we're out practicing or whatever.
Oh yeah, but
when I get on the running gun, like I'm slinging it under stuff and dropping it and everything else. Like
me too.
I figure if it, they can't handle it, of course.
Then you just throw it in the lake.
Yeah,
they can't handle it.
No, just like that boat motor.
Exactly.
Well, my second rifle was an AK, so I figured it was at least going to survive.
Oh yeah, for sure. So what else you got on there? You got a bunch of obstacles on this course, or is it mostly shooting?
I'm planning at least 5. Again, it kind of depends on what resources I have available because Rock Castle runs a ton of different matches.
Yeah.
And sometimes MDs leave stuff, and sometimes they don't. But I'm going to have for sure a slack line, and it's not going to be just a traditional slack line because we've had slackline at a few running guns here in the East, and people have figured out that you can just carabiner yourself to the slackline and slide underneath it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have a wall about 15 foot in that you have to go over on the slackline. So you've got to do at least 15 foot of it on top of the slackline. After that, if you're carabinered off and you want to drop below it, you can do that. But a little twist there to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then on my last stage, right before my last stage, there's going to be a barbed wire low crawl and mud pits. And rain or shine, you're going to get muddy because I've got either Park City Fire Department's going to be there, or I've got a water truck that's going to be there. So there will be mud there at the very least. And then you got to come up an inclined tube, like a sewer pipe. You got to climb up through that.
Oh yeah, I've seen that in some videos too. I don't know if it's the same place or what, but
yeah, same place. They built it for a mud run, like a Spartan race, and now all the running guns are using it because it's a pretty cool obstacle.
Yeah.
There's going to be A-frames that you got to go up and over, and I don't remember. I think that's about it. I might put like a 6-foot wall that you got to climb up and over or something. I don't know. But,
that'd be cool.
Or over unders or so. There'll be obstacles, but nothing super extreme. And like on the slack line, if you're not comfortable getting 4 or 5 feet off the ground on a slack line, if you're worried about falling, I may just have it to where you can do like 35 burpees in gear and then move on. Because I don't want anybody to be truly uncomfortable and get hurt.
Yeah. Because
of it.
You know all the correct terms for these obstacles. Are you in the military?
I was. Okay. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. So
okay. It's like most people don't call them over-unders or, like.
Yeah,
well, that's cool, man. Sounds fun. I have not made it out to any of the Rock Castle, any of the shoots out there that are in Rock Castle. And a few of our friends have made that way, but
there's a couple events out there, right? Like
that's the one they have a cave on.
Yeah,
one, right?
There's 3 a year actually because Matt Stennett.
Okay,
he runs one in March, and that was actually my first one. Was March 2017 was his event there at the Rock, and then 5th Group Special Forces, they put on one, which is I'm actually driving down there tomorrow to help him set up for it this weekend. And running it this weekend, and then they call it the Legion match, and then there's my match in November. So there's 3 a year down there for now.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, all the ones I've heard nothing but good stuff about the shoots out there, and I'd like to make it out there. It's I can't remember what the drive is from here. It's not that much more than Pecos. Like it takes us 9 hours to get to Pecos, but for some reason it seems so far.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it on a map, opposed to like, I'm just going to Texas. It's a state down there, But Texas.
But Texas is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, come out, man. Come out, guys. I'll show you a good time. We got some hills here that you guys probably don't have in Oklahoma.
Now you say it like that.
So wife swapping is going on out there.
And a wife swap, a TV show, and guaranteed to be a movie star afterwards. Sounds good. Well, it's really cool. Are there any other? Do you have any divisions in yours? Like,
I run basically run what you brung. The only specific award I'm giving out this year, other than winner and top lady, which I actually am calling the Valkyrie Award because top lady's really fucking generic, is the Mule Award. And this
call it
this
Lady
is
on Top.
This is the one that I do because this is what I like to compete in.
Yeah.
And the Mule is the person who finishes the course carrying the highest percentage of their body weight. Usually around 45 to 50% wins. Matt had a guy carry 63%. I have carried 65%. But usually 45 to 50% of your body weight wins. This year, I have a couple of females that are planning on doing it, and they weigh like $120 a piece. So, their standard gear is already like 40% of their body weight.
Yeah.
Donkey Punch Award.
Yeah. It's bullshit. All of it.
But cool thing about that is Thunder Beast is sponsoring the Mule Award, so whoever wins Mule gets a free suppressor.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude, that's like... when is the weigh? Is the weigh-in after? Is it when you start?
Last year I weighed in on step-off. This year I'm going to weigh in on step-off and on return. And average them because I had some people complaining last year that they thought somebody had dumped a bunch of gear on the course or dumped a bunch of water or something like that. And I'm like, you know what? If you're going to game it that much and you get caught at it, I'm just going to introduce you to my fifth group friends who are going to be there and let them handle you.
Like, what's in that thing? It's water. I drank it all.
Right, yeah. But I mean, and the thing is, if you drink all your water, unless you took a major leak out on the course or something, you're still going to have it in your system for the most part.
Oh no!
I mean,
no! I don't know where. I don't know.
That's when I drank all that water this summer in Pawnee, I was peeing down the road.
We don't sweat like you guys do because it's not 110. And actually last year it was 65 and we had people running in like long sleeves and stuff and they were about dying. So
65 would be ideal.
Yeah.
For a sporting event like that.
Yeah.
So
it really is.
Tiger, have you been to the Pawnee one?
I haven't. My goal is to come this winter.
Okay.
And if I don't come this winter, then summer of 2019, I will for sure be there. I gotta clear it with the wife. You know, I've done 6 running guns this year, and she told me in February that I was only allowed to do 3. So
that equals 9.
Yeah.
Still got a couple more.
Got to push it to the limit.
See if I can't hit 10. Right.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. It sounds like you got it, all planned out, and you're going to put on a good event. It's well planned, and you got other things for people to do while they're waiting around or before it starts. So I think. And
actually, we've got a side match going too. It's going to be a pistol course, and it's going to be $10 for the side match. You shoot it. The winner, I'm not sure what the winner of the side match is going to get other than bragging rights, but included in that $10 is going to be a raffle ticket, and Walter is sending a PPQ, and we're going to raffle off the PPQ.
Wow, that'd be really cool. Dude, I went to
that's something else to do.
I went to a shotgun shoot a while back, and they raffled off a bunch of shotguns and rifles and stuff, and it's like really exciting to try to because usually during a raffle you're like,
I'm not gonna win.
It's a 10-pack thing of Boy Scout popcorn. Like, damn it, I don't want this.
You win that.
And they're like, hey, it's a whatever new shotgun or this. I'm like, oh. Of course, I still have never won anything like that. But
I don't ever win.
It's because you always win, but you're gone.
I don't win. You guys lie.
You leave. You've won multiple times, but you've left.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I think you guys are lying.
No. There's been multiple.
But when I'm there, I don't win.
True.
It's like
the universe.
It's the observing and the unobserved. It's the way light particles act.
So
That's right.
Just to go over it's November 3rd in Rock Castle Shooting Center in Kentucky, and
Park City.
Do you
Park City.
Are you full on runners yet, or is it still open? Or
Actually, registration opens up on September 11th.
Okay.
10 a.m. Central Time. That's part of the reason I wanted to talk to you guys now, is give people a chance to hear about it a little bit. But I've got 75 slots open for it. We'll see how everything shakes out. I may bump it up to 80, but 75 is really, I'm brushing up against daylight at the end of the day.
Yeah, November especially.
With that, so, but yeah, it's $75 match fee. So it's not super expensive. And usually I've actually got a pretty good price table going. I've got like 15 grand worth of gear on the prize table. Thunder Beast sent a couple other free suppressor certs to put on there. They sent 3 half-price suppressors. Everybody will get a Seekins scratch-off card. Control Solutions, I've got 5 of their brakes. I've got 5 Manus X's on the prize table. Trying to think of what else I've got. Holosun is sending some gear. Got a couple of holster companies that are going to send some stuff.
You like those Holosun optics?
What's that?
You like those Holosun optics?
I like their green dots a lot.
Do you? Because Cody was talking about them, right? Those are the ones because I said, should I get an Aimpoint Micro? Because that's the one that looks just like an Aimpoint Micro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, just get the Holosun. He's like, he hadn't had any problems with them. I just always, every time I see something that's not expensive, I assume it's shit. You know what I mean?
Holosun is not shit. They're actually really. I've got one, and a buddy of mine's got one, and he like dropped his rifle from his hunting stand last year, and like landed directly on the optic and just like climbed down, picked it up, and it never lost zero or anything like that. So
dude, anytime I'm hunting and I do that, if I just lean my rifle up against a tree and I'm peeing and it slides off, it doesn't even fall, I'm like, it's off. It's off. Yeah. So now when I shoot at a deer, I need to aim left. I'm like sitting there moving around, looking, I'll pull the bolt out and look through the hole like I'm bore sighting it. Like,
it's off.
Because that's going to help.
Yeah.
Guaranteed it's off.
Dude, it drives me nuts until I finally just forget about it. But
right.
Well, cool, man. We'll make sure and share your. Can I share this on our podcast page, Facebook page? I don't see a share button.
You should be able to.
I'm not signed in.
Yeah, we'll sign in a second. We'll share it on the podcast page, and we'll make sure to remind people here the weeks coming up to sign up for it. But
I appreciate it, guys.
Sounds like you got a good thing
if you guys want to come out, I'd be more than happy to have you. Okay. We'll figure something out.
All right. Well, sounds good. We appreciate having you on the show, and glad to have you as a listener. So make sure and keep in touch.
Right.
And
thanks for having me, and thanks for putting on a great show.
All right, man.
Thank you, Tiger.
All right,
man.
All right.
See you.
Good luck.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Pause it. Oh. All right. So make sure you check out the Run for Your Life Zombie 10K Run and Gun at Rock Castle Shooting Center, November 3rd. And registration opens up 9/11 at 10 a.m. Central Time.
It sounds like they got a good thing going.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that with the lodge and the restaurant. And
dude, that'd be so cool to be able to sit there and eat and watch people come across. Like,
I liked your idea. I liked your idea. That was a great idea to be able to have like video footage of each stage.
Yeah, because you can watch a camera
or of each stage,
TV. You know,
fuck,
like
that's a great idea. And then Tiger's idea of having a side match.
Yeah,
right. Like where you could this would be great. Now, this is just a recommendation, but let's say every time you pay your $10, you can re-enter it and reshoot the match, right? Like so. Or maybe there's 3 stages for the pistol match, right? You got 3 stages, and every time I pay my $10, I get to go through. It's like an admission, and then I get another ticket, and I can always improve my score. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, and then you'd put me on my sign-in real quick so we can share this while we're talking. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think in that way, I mean, you're obviously generating more money and people are having fun.
And if there's prizes to win off of it, you'd be like,
I'm sure
try to get
eventually
top.
it's going to get to that point to where there's live.
It's going to be a
feeds
fucking carnival
of stages. Because, but think, dude, if there was live feed,
I'd
like
be nervous.
running areas, yeah, I'd be nervous.
Shit,
like,
they see me.
People are watching, and then, but if I thought people were watching me run, I'd be hauling ass.
Yeah, but shooting, you'd get all like, whoa, fuck.
How many people are watching? Turn off the camera.
Yeah.
Shoot it out.
Yeah, if running, I'd be vapor locked by about 3 miles in. Done.
Yeah. Dude, before I got sick, I was like
I saw your...
pushing myself to the limits on my running and stuff. And it was, like, I understand now. People say, like, I hate running. Go back to that now so that I can,
Okay. Grab the...
I hate running,
I don't know
right?
what I did.
Type.
You got to type. You got the keyboard.
Oh.
I just got the clicker. Run for your life. Oh. Anyways.
Anyway, like,
You're pushing yourself. I see your progress
I fucking
reports.
hate running now
Uh-huh.
because it sucks. Like, it sucks to actually running.
Hard.
Yeah, hard. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is hard to do and talk.
That's okay. But they do look like they have... it's taken off, right?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
There you go. Oh, click on that.
Oh.
I don't know. Do you feel the need to tell everybody, like, I used to be hipster? Like, I used to do this before it was cool. Like, I used to do this before you knew about it.
In a way, right?
Yeah.
Like, in a way. But then
I've noticed some other people doing the same thing, like, hey, man, I was at Thunderbird, like, Thunderbird, what's that? Like, it was, like, the very first one. And
Well, I was at Henrietta.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Why won't this let me do it?
Share, right?
Share as a post.
I don't know how to do Facebook anymore. Stop.
Why is your Facebook different than the one on my computer?
Because this is my
There
computer.
we go. Okay. Post it on our podcast page. Now I can log out so you don't
I'm not ever
start
gonna.
looking at my stuff. But when he signed in there, I saw Greg, one of our listeners, said that he's like, people say Facebook doesn't listen to what you say. He said he was just talking to his daughter about an owl, and then he got an ad on his Facebook from his phone that said owl cameras.
Yeah, I mean, dude, why do people even try to say that
it
they
doesn't?
that it doesn't anymore? It'd just be like, yeah, it fucking does, and nobody's gonna say anything different.
No.
Right?
People used to think we're crazy. You're saying your TV listens to you, your phones listen to you. Like, oh, that didn't happen. That comes out like, oh, it does. But it's just using it for marketing. Like, whatever.
Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah,
it's because you would have never walked away from it in the first place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone's fat and happy.
But if they said beforehand, let's put it to you like this. Hey, we got a program. Here's what it's gonna allow you to do. You'll be able to connect with long lost friends, right? People you went to high school with. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to everything that you say in your house, and we're just gonna keep that for market data. What do you think? We're listening to would you sign up? Fuck no, you wouldn't sign up at first. But if you don't tell them that part, and then you say, and then later be like, oh yeah, we listen. It's for accuracy purposes so that we can get a bead on what your preferences are, and we just, it's to help you connect, and that's how we do it. You're like, oh well, yeah. Fuck.
Well, think about it. When you first got on Facebook, it wasn't full of ads and everything, right? It was just like
it was weird.
a bunch of people posting pictures of their dinner.
I was more used to the MySpace
glitter backgrounds and
glitter gifs,
and
rainbows and fucking
put so much
waterfalls.
shit on it that it won't even load. Like, where's your page? Like, give it a second. But it's got to play an awesome song from Dimmu Borgir here in a second. Demon Burger.
And there's a nice glittery rose over there on the left.
Yeah. Oh, shit. So this past weekend, we had our annual Goose Island trip. Got drunk out on island.
This is the fourth one that I've missed.
Dude, I swear I showed my wife this. I got 2 puncture wounds on my elbow that I thought were
snake bite.
Ingrown hairs.
Uh-huh.
Well, see that? It's small, right? It just doesn't hurt, but I was just like, what the fuck? Look at this. Tell me what you think.
Yeah.
It's the same, right?
Yeah.
I think something bit me with little teeth, like a chupacabra or something.
Probably was a tiny chupacabra. Or that fucking skunk.
I was thinking it was bats. Or when
Bats.
Yeah. I was down there passed out, mouth breathing, and bats are eating me. When I was putting my shit up, you remember how Ted said, you guys, there's a lot of scorpions out there.
Yeah.
I've never seen a scorpion in my life. I put my shit up, there's scorpions crawling all over the place.
Really?
They say everywhere. I saw one, but...
But he was
scorpions
all over
bite
the
you?
place.
Do they make spider marks like that?
They sting
pinch
you. They don't pinch you.
Like, ooh.
Well, they might pinch, but then
Gotcha.
they slap their stinger.
Yeah, but they
on
don't
you.
eat with their stinger.
Oh, well, he was trying to eat you?
Something bit me to eat me. That or it's ingrown hair, and that's a scratch on my...
Probably rats.
I was probably covered in rats.
I mean, that wouldn't be the first time out there.
I woke up down there a few times with mice running back and forth across
across the top of my head. I was using that loaf of bread for a pillow.
But it was a good time. There were a few other people out there. What was the strangest thing, right, is there was absolutely zero firewood to be found.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was like gone. There's trash everywhere like normal. I spent the first, I don't know how, like hour I was there picking up garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started drinking, and
I fucking don't get that. I don't get hillbillies. I guess that's what
I
it
don't
is.
either. I like a lot of young people go out there and drink, but still, man, like, pick up your trash, you know? Like, if you're fishing, like, take your liver, chicken liver bucket with you. Like, just throw it in the garbage when you leave. Like, how hard is it? But anyway, we had been swimming, so I was in those silkies. And I was looking for firewood, so I walk along the edge. I'm like, there's got to be driftwood. There's always driftwood, right? There's something, dead tree from flooding. And we're walking, and there's two girls sitting at a Dodge Charger.
That story just got good.
Yeah, there's two girls. You know that like, quote, campsite right
Yeah, the
before
little
last,
beach?
Yeah, no, not that one. The one
next
right
one.
before our spot.
Yeah.
So there's a Dodge Charger sitting there, and there's two girls. So I kind of look at them without looking at them, and I walk over to this tree, and I try to grab this gigantic tree. My back hurts because I overdid it on deadlifts the day before, and I'm starting dragging this shit back, and I feel like I need to explain to them, like, hey, there's no firewood. That's why I'm walking over here by you guys.
Uh-huh.
But I don't say anything. I just make it weird, and I walk back, and I can kind of see they're like,
It's fucking weird.
yeah, who is this guy? So
He's got a hostile tattoo.
I walk past
covered
him.
up.
Yeah, I walk past him, and one of our friends out there is newly single and is like a lovemaking master. So
Yeah.
I told him about it. I said, dude, it's weird. There's two girls out in the middle of the woods sitting there talking, and he's like, let's go tell him to bring us some beer. So him and someone else, I can't remember who it was, go over there, and he comes back. He's like, there's no one there. And I was like, what? It's like, yes, there was. There was a car here with two people sitting in a chair.
You fucking scared him off.
I scared him off, but he made me believe that it didn't happen. And I was like, no, man, they were here. Like, I didn't imagine the whole thing. I mean, we weren't that drunk. I only brought 7 beers out there.
Really?
Yeah, 7 beers, and we ran out of beer. That was like
That's why I got a text to bring some Bice.
Yeah.
Or something.
I mean, we were drunk, but not like usual. Or just belligerent. But someone brought a bottle of Kentucky
Deluxe. I saw the
Woo. Tasted good at first, but then it was like, this is for bums.
Yeah. This bummy bourbon.
But he was going to ask them to go buy us some beer, which they would have ended up just taking whoever's money, they gave it to him. Yeah, man, I was like questioning, like, did that
really happen?
Did I just make that whole thing up?
Fucking Mandela effect you.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a good time. We spied on some people. There was a few people out there fishing at night, and it was Labor Day weekend. I figured the lake would have been a lot more packed, but it wasn't bad. It seemed like the day went by really fast.
Did it?
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like we got there, and I got there early because I went dove hunting that morning. So I was up from 3 until midnight the next.
You made it?
Yeah. I didn't get tired either. Of course, I hit it with a Zions about 4 o'clock. And that helped me power through. But
Yeah,
that was good. Good
I was,
time.
on the couch,
Sleep?
in and out.
No. Everyone was busting your balls.
I know. I deserved it, but there was no way, man. I hadn't recovered from that London trip, and I was just sick, dude.
Yeah. So here recently, my daughter started going to a public school, and I had to go to a back to school night. And then go there, we're starting to talk, and my wife's like, well, we don't have to be there until 6:30 because the other stuff doesn't apply to us. So I'm like, all right. So we get there and go into the auditorium, and they're talking about stuff. And I'm like, I've already heard this. Like I went to something in the summer before school started, and they're talking about the same thing. Like all this, and I've only been to 2 meetings like this, but all I hear is donate money to this, donate money to that.
It's like church.
Donate money to this. Yes, exactly. Donate money to these people. These people need your money. Like, okay, I get it, right? You need it. But then I look around, and this is going to piss a lot of people off. I look around.
It's our podcast.
Yeah, I look around and I see. Okay, first off, when I went to elementary, and my elementary school is not as big as the one my kid goes to, but when I went to elementary school, we had a principal, a vice principal, the secretary, the janitor, the school nurse, and then the teachers. Gym teacher, music teacher, the regular teachers for each grade. No one had a teaching assistant.
Yeah.
Maybe the special ed class had 2 teachers.
Yeah.
They had a counselor. I think that's it.
And then they all doubled as bus drivers.
The bus driver. But I knew who everybody was there. There are so many people at this school, like
that work there?
Administrative assistant, the admin for this lady, the admin for this lady, the admin for this lady. This lady's got this administrator. Contact this desk for this. There's a principal for each fucking building.
Really?
Like,
and then there's the main principal.
There's like the head honcho,
and the superintendent,
the super boss, and then you got lowercase bosses, and then you got
like a fucking mafia.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just all I see is like heavy. It's heavy. Like, no wonder there's no money in school. Like,
everybody's got a
everyone's
job.
got to have a fucking administrative assistant.
Yeah.
I mean, is that really? I mean, you're teaching kindergartners, right?
Yeah, man. I don't get it.
And then you're sitting there saying, "Hey, give us some more money so we can have the ability to teach your kid correctly." Like, and I'm not saying teaching is easy. I'm not saying that at all. But
no,
it's
our teacher will get on your ass. The one that's love maker.
It's like, yeah. He said it's really hard. Yeah. It's stressful, whatever. But you know what? So is everyone else's job. It's,
that's right.
But, I maybe the reason I'm seeing this is because the school I went to when I was a kid had a lot less students. But even if you just take into account, like, all right, say that matches this building, there's still fucking more people working in this building than I did. And people are, we got to fill this out, you got to do this. Like, okay, well, if you want to figure out why there's no money in the education systems, because you have all these people in these positions that are unnecessary, or they're only necessary because they have to fill out bullshit paperwork for the state. You know what I mean? Like, we got to turn in these reports or this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have time to do that. I'm the principal. Like, well, aren't you just busting asses all day? Like, what do you? My principal used to walk up and down the hallways whistling with that paddle and just picking people up in the hallway. So I'd see him coming and like go back in tell the teacher I was sorry if I was out in the hall getting ready to get picked up. But yeah,
yeah, no. You're exactly right, and it only will get bigger. Yeah, it's like any other bureaucracy,
it's just
right?
like a budget that the government gets. Like, if you don't ask for more and you don't use what you got, even if you don't need it, they're going to take it away from you.
Yeah.
So you gotta get more. I mean, it's like all these bonds and stuff. Like pass the bonds. Like, dude, have you seen the sports stadiums, the high schools here? Like, it's fucking professional football.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's a moneymaker. Like, yeah, the chances of your kids going to school on a sports scholarship are like less than 2%.
Right.
I think that's what my wife said. But your chances of a scholarship for academics is like 80. So why are we not focusing on making kids smarter instead of like Come on, Johnny, you're a football player, just like your dad. Come on.
Exactly.
Anyway, get off my
It does,
soapbox.
no, but it does go to your point of if you don't use your budget, then you're not going to get.
Think about when you're in the military.
Fuck yeah, that's where I was going.
How many times
did I fire
just
AT4s
shoot? Yeah.
nonstop?
Yeah.
Until I had tap out. I'd be like, I can't shoot anymore.
Yeah.
These missiles. It's hurting me.
We were friends with the armor, and he'd say, "Hey, we got all this ammunition. We have to
Go
shoot
shoot.
before the quarter's over. You guys want to shoot? Fuck yeah, man! Go there and just fucking blast."
It was.
I didn't realize how expensive it was to shoot until you get out, and you're like, "Well, damn, 100 rounds cost that much money? Like,
Yeah.
I shooting thousands, and shit,
Yeah.
ruining barrels and stuff. Just But anyway, so all this, is like real popular right now is this Kaepernick,
Kaepernick.
colon Kaepernick.
Yeah.
People are.
I
Losing,
can't see why this is still a story.
People are losing their mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely losing their mind. Burning the shoes on their feet, and fucking cutting Nike emblems off their shirt. And here's my thing. I'm gonna say this right now. Like, if you want to burn your shoes, that's all you, man. You can do that because that's your opinion. I don't agree with what he's doing, but I don't care. That's his fucking opinion. I don't understand why he's been elevated to such a level. The guy plays a ball game, or he did. Is he still a football player? Or he did. He played a ball game for a profession. Just like Tom Jones used to say.
Just like what we said, all these kids being professional athletes, right?
Like Tom Jones used to say, like, you play football. He's like, you don't play boxing. Anyway, he plays ball, or he did. He decided to take a stand for it, and he stood behind it, which you got to give him some credit. Like, he stood to his guns, right? Like,
And he's been charitable. He's a real charitable guy, supposedly. He gives a lot of money.
I don't agree with, I wouldn't, I guess that's not how I would go about doing it, but whatever, it's not me. But, like, do you remember a time, like, you could buy something without having to know what the person that made it or did it, like, their political view, or why it was important? Like, why is it important that Nike supports, or if that's the point?
It's so fucking hilarious to me. People
Nike
buy an
uses-
Apple phone that's made fucking slave labor.
Yeah.
But they're all good with that. But whenever it comes to somebody that's like, hey, I don't really agree with police brutality, so I'm not going to stand up for the national anthem because
I'm burning my shoes on my like I get, but I have a hard time believing that people are actually that angry about it. You know what I mean?
I gotta think that it's not that though. I think that it's just like, hey, it's like anything else. Like, well, I gotta be on board with this.
So here's the thing. Like, so you're gonna go buy a new bow and arrow or whatever. Like, well, I'm gonna get a bear.
John J. Rambo had a bear.
Yeah, bear archery. Well, who's he voting for? Why does it fucking matter?
Yeah.
Like, do you actually people say, like, you vote with your dollars. Like, okay, to a point, yes. Like, there was a point in time, I can't remember when it was. There was this thing going around on the internet that said that Starbucks didn't sell coffee to Marines in Iraq. And I was like, well, I'm done with them. Fuck them. And I was so pissed because I like those caramel macchiatos so much. I'd be like, damn it, I wish they'd just sell that to those fucking Marines, And it turned out it was a giant misunderstanding, and the Marines had sent out this email clarifying it, right? But that's not as fantastic as reading a article about how they banned it. People want to believe, like, oh, the fucking Starbucks, they wouldn't sell coffee to Marines. Well,
it's like somebody getting accused of rape, like a public figure, and then, oh, sorry, he didn't really rape her.
So, like, I guess I just missed the time where you could buy a pair of jeans or a pair of shoes and not worry or give a shit about who they're voting for or what they're behind or why even companies are taking a stand on stuff like that. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Nike is not using this to make money. They don't give a shit about his beliefs or any of that. Like you're saying, they make their shoes in fucking China with women making 20 cents a week or something.
Yeah.
But they're not worried about oppression or any of that. They're thinking people are going to be posting and tweeting about this and everything.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, some people will burn their shoes, but other people won't. Even if they did, they already bought them.
Exactly. What's gonna happen is people are gonna go out and buy that shit and then burn it just for protest.
I really felt like if people are truly upset about it, like, have at it. You can do whatever you want. That's the great thing about I guess having an opinion. I mean, you could tell me that you support Kirkpatrick. I can't say his name. Colin Kirkpatrick. Whatever. Not his name's not Colin, is it?
It's Colin.
And they're like, all right, man, whatever. Yeah. It doesn't affect me.
Nope. And I don't have an opinion on it, really.
It's kind of how I am.
Just like, what? Okay, he doesn't play football anymore because the NFL said, look, we don't want this fucking guy here doing that. It doesn't represent us. So this is our company. Get the fuck out. We don't want you. And so then people raise hell.
Nike decided to pull them on, and if it's a good idea, it'll be beneficial. If it's not, then they're not going to keep them around.
That's exactly it.
You know what? We lost a shitload of money because of your ideas, but we're going to keep you on because we believe in you. It won't be that at all. It'll be like either we made a ton of money by putting you as the spokesperson for this, or we lost money. So see you later. And then he'll write a book, and then it'll be
So if that dude was really any good, he'd still be playing in the NFL. Like if he drew, like if it was a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning that did that, he'd still be in the fucking NFL. They'd be like, dude. I mean, the guy's, he's just not good, right? And they're like, marginally. They probably did their research and been like, okay, is Colin Kaepernick, does he draw enough attention to make our sales go up? Oh no, it's bad press. Get him the fuck out of here. We don't care. That's how it works. That's how business works, right?
My dad's like pissed off about him. Like this fucking guy. Like, I mean, why do you care? Like I was telling my dad, and I can't remember who else. I was like, why do we put sports contenders on such a high level to where somehow they matter
more than your opinion matters? I don't know.
Hey, would you care if Jim Bob, Longdale at the steel factory took a knee during the national anthem?
Exactly.
No.
Nope.
Why the fuck do you care about this guy? He's playing sports for money, and this country and in general, like, elevate these sports stars to like god status for whatever reason. And if you read that book that I keep telling everybody to read, The Fate of Empire.
Celebrities and
the final ages of when the empire starts falling, like, all of the focus becomes on like blood sports, gladiators, like not politicians, but like entertainers and shit. Like, look at what's important in America right now. Like, everyone knows who the Kardashians are, like Kendall, Bruce, and all the big one,
Big Mike. Oh no, I like the big one.
I don't.
I can't remember her name.
I mean, football players, and like, there's nothing wrong with having role models, but no, it's just you're elevating them to these levels, and like, man, what are they doing? Like, you don't know who they are. What are they providing for you? Entertainment.
Okay, so they're like they're the perfect tool. They're always the perfect tool. That's it, right? Actors, what do they do all day?
Yeah, that's the same place.
They play house or whatever.
So anytime
make believe.
Yeah. So anytime something big happens, these actors come out and say, this, gun violence. This shouldn't. George Clooney, like, this is just uncalled of. This doesn't happen in other countries. Like, yeah, it does, George. And why the fuck does your opinion matter, man? Like, no one fucking cares what you think, because. What, you got a lot of? There's a lot of people in this country got a lot of money.
It should tell you exactly what it is, though. It's all marketing, right? Even so, just like we talked, your school, right? The school is just a microcosm or whatever of the government in its nature of its its nature, right? And what is the government in business for? It's fucking self.
Yeah.
And what does it do? It grows. Same. These guys are perfect tools for that agenda, regardless of either way. Like, if you don't,
if people are worried about what Colin Kaepernick is doing and not worried about the fact that, like, I can't think of something now, like some unjust laws passed, or that your rights are being taken away bit by bit by each thing that's passed, then I mean, it's working. And as everyone's fat and happy, no one's going to do a damn thing. And I mean,
listening to every bit of what you say.
A lot of what's going on in America is, people don't even know where. If you watch a lot of those, people on the street, which I know they're not going to show you the people that can do the answers, but don't even know how many fucking stars on the American flag. Don't know, how many states are in this country. I mean, like, dude, you are dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. I don't know. It's not frowned upon to be a dipshit anymore. Yeah. Right? You know what I mean?
Well, if you asked them what the big Kardashian was, what her name was,
Chloe.
Yeah, you would. They would
I even know it. I don't even watch this
know.
shit. I mean, I have fucking cable. I know that.
Right.
If you read Yahoo News, which, since I'm trying to disassociate myself with looking at Facebook on my phone, and which I am trying to post more stuff to the podcast.
Yeah, you've done a lot. I have.
Dude, we got more
Facebook on here.
Yeah,
but I don't have Facebook like it's me.
Yeah,
it only goes.
Yeah, that's what I've got. So I post stuff to the podcast,
and I see all these people liking stuff.
But I can't. What is it? I can't search on it. I don't know. Anyway, so it doesn't, like, when I'm home, I don't read it.
Yeah,
but anyway, so I was reading Yahoo News on the can one day, and Yahoo News is basically what people tweet. Like, hey, what's that girl's name? That model. She's got giant moon pan face.
Huh? The big model?
No. It's driving me nuts. People are yelling at the phone right now.
She got a moon face?
Yeah. What is a moon pan?
I don't know. Did you just come up with that?
Maybe. Hope it's not racist.
It probably is.
It'll be on the Huffington Post in no time.
Colin Kaepernick is
going to be kneeling for this podcast. God, fucking talking about moon pans.
I bet I'll tell you.
No, Chrissy Teigen.
Oh, yeah, she has a
Chrissy
moon face.
Teigen tweeted on.
That's racist. That's
she's got a
racist.
Fucking moon face.
And it's yellow too, huh?
It's gigantic.
That's what you want to say? It's a yellow,
round,
moon face.
rotund face.
She does.
Like it looks like it should be like on a coin or something.
She have big old boobs.
Yeah, because she's milking kids
and no acetol.
I don't know if she's gonna ask, but like somehow what she tweets is news.
Oh, really?
Here's the other thing it talks about in that Fate of Empires is like the degradation of morals and everything. I was reading in Yahoo News an article that said fans figured out what "lick the bowl" means on Ariana Grande's new song and are losing their minds. So
what does it mean?
Well, I was like, I don't know what the song is for one. So it was a video. It wasn't an article. You couldn't read it.
Oh.
So I played the video and it said, fans of Ariana's new song something, and it says "lick the bowl." We know she's not talking about a cookie bowl. So this is anything. Your daughter could read it, your grandma, whatever. And I'm not fucking prude by any means, right?
It's something about your butthole, isn't it?
No. So It says, it's not talking about a cookie bowl. It says, Urban Dictionary defines licking the bowl clean as licking the cum out of a girl's pussy after she orgasms. I was like, how the fuck is that not edited to where a kid can't read that?
That's true.
And why the fuck is that? I mean, listen to how I'm
why
talking right
news?
now. Why is that news? Exactly. It's because it's this fucking dude. You need to read that Fate of Empire. Like, I feel like it's all coming down.
I agree with everything you're saying.
250 years is the average.
Yeah, I mean it's on its way, right? It's on its way out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not. There's no doubt about
like
it.
I feel like it's like people are like, just talking about pussy. Like, yeah, I get it. Like I can use that term all day long. Read stories about fucking.
No, I get what you're saying.
But there's like a time and place for it. Like a national news outlet. I don't think they need to be talking about.
I mean, when decadence. What is decadence?
The decay of morality. I guess I don't know.
I mean, I guess what it is I wouldn't say morality because morality
but
that's a subject. That's subjective, right? But it's the decay of society, right? Like decadence does what? You split classes, right? You'll have a ruling class, and then the poor class gets poorer and poorer, right? And that divide gets bigger and bigger, and then the tide flips. That's how it always works, right? And then it implodes, and then the poor want what the rich got, right? That's what happened in Rome. I mean, they were just fucking just fell apart. They couldn't sustain it, right? And then they're like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Happens everywhere. It's going to happen here.
Yeah.
The greater the divide between the middle class and then the upper class.
I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying how there's like another class of people, like to where there's poverty. These people are in poverty, but they got like 72-inch flat screen TVs and smartphones and shit, but they don't have money for food. And, well, it's because people's fucking priorities are changing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like that to me, you're setting a dangerous level, because that's when people are saying like, I want what you have. Well, I paid for my 72-inch TV or, whatever, my 118-inch TV. And then when that fucking ability of someone else giving that to them stops, then they're going to come take yours or try to take yours.
So there's this. So I was mowing
an umbrella full of fucking wrenches.
I was mowing the grass, and I was thinking about this. I was thinking about what's the difference between I grew up poor, right? I grew up poor, and I grew up where I grew up. You either worked in the mine or you didn't, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of poor people in that town.
Grew up poor to where the fact that you had shoes with holes in them,
right? Duct tape shoes,
Like, I hear a lot of people say they grew up poor, and
I
not
grew up
getting to go to fucking Blockbuster on the weekends.
That would be a thing that we'd get to do maybe once a year. Would be like get a rent a video machine and have pizza and rent like 40 fucking movies or whatever. Not 40, but like as a stack where it'd just be watching movies. No, poor. Yeah, pretty. Yes. Okay. Where you're constantly moving around because you can't, because they're not paying rent or whatever's happening, right? Whatever. Okay. And then, like, there wasn't violence in that where I grew up, right? But you go to like a higher concentration of that, right? Yeah. So when people say, "Oh, well, poverty breeds violence," right? That's always kind of the statement, right? That's not true. Here's what I thought about, and I was mowing the lawn. I was thinking, why is it that that's the case? Why do people make that connection so often? And it's just, it's a widespread thing. Poverty doesn't breed violence. Poverty breeds escapism. People that want to leave that lifestyle, they want something better, right? So that they justify it. Either they come to the cold hard reality of that they're poor and then they work their way out of it, or they jump into escapism, right? Like, oh, they don't spend their money on things that they need to help them get out of it. They spend it on fucking PlayStations and giant TVs, and then when that runs out, it's like a complacent type of environment or stagnant environment, and then that leads to. But what happened? Like, you think about it. What did I do? Oh fuck! I did what all kings and all rulers have always taken advantage of in the past, is offer the poorest person to go fight wars for them. I didn't go to war, but I joined the military, right, to get out of it. But it was an escape. It was an escape from poverty, right? That was the goal. So I always look at that and I say, okay, when people say, well, it's poverty that breeds violence, and we can fix that by stealing more of your money and giving it to poor people. No, it's not. Poverty doesn't breed violence. Poverty breeds escapism. And I think the biggest thing is, I don't know if you can ever combat that, right? Like, because there's always going to be poor people. Yeah. Why is there? Because people make bad decisions. Yeah. It's how it works. Doesn't matter what kind of social, political, economic structure you have in your country. There's always going to be poor people, and there's always going to be rich people.
You're heartless.
I am
truthful, but heartless.
Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. The difference is that you want to have a vast varying amount of people, right? Like, you want to have people that fit into the middle class and the lower class and the upper class, and It's always gonna be less at the top. Why do people think that that's not the case? Why do people think, oh, well, we can have a shit ton of rich people and only a few poor people? Well, fuck, where? What? How does that work? Physics, like the laws of physics, don't even support that, right?
Yeah.
Right? You can't have.
Hey, here's a bunch of marbles. You guys pick up. Whoever picks it, you pick up the most as you can. Like, okay, Johnny, Susan, and Amber and David all have the most. You guys got second. These guys are barely enough for you. These guys got 2 apiece. Like, we need more rich people. Like, we should got more marbles. There's only so many marbles. Like, of course, we can make more marbles here.
Yeah, we do.
But
then the value of those marbles go down, right? Yeah, I don't know.
I hate to see it because I don't know. I've been thinking about a lot of this stuff lately, and I feel like, I don't even talk about it here. But.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get you, but I do think this. I think that we will see in our lifetime. We'll see the rise of like other nations that are on par with what the bankers want. I know that we hadn't talked about any conspiracies, but are in line with that, and they'll start to, I guess these guys that control these banks, they like to fuck with nations, right? That's what they do. I mean, it's evident what they did with World War I. It's evident with what they've done World War II and all wars, right? And how we constantly flip over the Middle East. We're constantly flipping over Africa. Constantly Southeast Asia's churning over all the time. Just fucking easy way to manipulate economies, right? I don't know. That's rambling, but
I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, make sure and email us if you get pissed off about the teacher segment, or you like Colin Kirkpatrick. Email us.
You think our listeners get pissed about the teachers?
I don't know.
I bet they're just like, fuck the teachers.
You think? I'm sure there's some teachers that listen.
You think?
We used to have an art teacher that listened.
Yeah.
He quit.
He went into the gigolo business.
Yeah. So email us at spearheadx@yahoo.com. Well, the whole thing I always think about, if like we pissed you off, like, dude, it's not wrong to have an opinion on something if it disagrees with someone else. I don't understand why that's so hard to grasp anymore.
I don't know. I don't know why people get
like, well, you voted for Donald Trump. Like, I didn't vote for Donald Trump.
And the thing is that you should be able to debate your opinion, right? Like, if you don't agree with your opinion,
even if you don't want to,
you don't have to.
Yeah.
But if you're throwing it out there,
restaurant, like I try to tell my daughter that I hate banana Laffy Taffy. Blew her mind. She's like, "You don't like it?" Like, no, it's disgusting. She's like, "It's so good." Like, I don't like it. And I mean, she couldn't get over it. You know, I think the same thing when you tell people like, I don't think that,
I hate
you should be able to have an abortion, but I don't want the government involved in it. And like, you don't? Like, I don't. Like, what about this, and this? Like, sorry. I mean, I don't really want to argue about it or anything, but just, you see people now like, well, I can't even talk to you if you don't believe in this, and we don't even have any business being friends. Like,
you know what the beauty is of what you're saying?
What?
Is that you don't want to force anybody to accept anything. You might have your opinion of it, but you realize that that's your fucking life.
Well, yeah,
that's their life, and that's your life, and you understand
what's happening now.
Fine line between
it's social media or what. It's like people cannot have differing opinions, even if it's considered racist or whatever. Like, that's their fucking opinion. Let them have it. Just like Kirkpatrick. That's that he stood it. That's him. Let that define him or whatever. If fucking someone comes up and says,
listens to our podcast.
Yeah.
From the brutal cop episodes.
Yeah. Someone comes up and's like, you know what, Adolf Hitler comes back to life and it's like, I don't believe Jews should exist. Like, that's his fucking opinion. Like,
yes. But you could debate him. You feel free if you want. Like, why do you, I mean,
I just don't understand why people can't have differences of opinions anymore. I mean, that's my biggest thing. Like, I like fucking, shepherd's pie. Like, I don't fuck shepherd's pie like turkey and dressing. What's better? Well, it's not. Well, fuck you. We can't be friends. Why not? Why can't I like shepherd's pie and why can't you like turkey and dressing?
That's the problem, is that when people disengage from it.
not affecting you at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have those few people like, yeah, it does. You know, they're passing these laws. Like, no, not affecting you.
No.
Don't try to make it.
Well, yeah, no.
But anyway, I just, like we've said in the past, baker doesn't want to make a cake for someone because they're fucking gay or black or Chinese or whatever. Let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, people won't go there because of that, or they will. Like,
Hey,
like a huge white supremacist.
the KK cakes.
Yeah,
Right.
dude, I'm gonna be the cake guy. Black guy doesn't want to make breakfast for white folks.
What are you saying? Is it chicken and waffles? Is that where
No,
you're going? I see where you're going.
Then don't do it. But that's your opinion. Have at it, man. I guess maybe that's the wrong opinion to have, but I don't know. Anyway. All right. Make sure and email us at xbeerheadx@yahoo.com. Like and share our Facebook page. Make sure and check out the Run for Your Life Zombie 10K. And other than that, that's all I got. We'll be back next week.
We will.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Adios, muchachos.
Accessing your mind. Programming started. Thank you for listening to the Spearhead Transmission. We know you enjoyed your experience. Please come again and partake in our ridiculousness. There is so much more to explore. Remember, your mind is yours. You are not part of a collective. You will start to think independently if you seek the truth. Stop buying the lies. Water that tree of liberty, and you will break those chains of mental slavery. You are beautiful and heroic. Until next time, goodbye.